Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Map Making with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB. You, of course, are very, very welcome. And welcome back to Duvo, the provisionally titled second map from myself, following the, I'm going to say, success of Merrickstowe from last year. Now, today we're going to be working on the mountain. These rock slabs that I put down kind of hurriedly when we started doing the map build, they look a little bit too much like tiling to me. This is my palette of rock rock slabs down here. I'm aware that popping down these rock slabs is changing the terrain a little bit, and I wasn't very happy with this. I wanted it to kind of like hold its shape. I understand why the terrain is changing. Obviously I do. I can imagine what's going on underneath what I've already popped down. But the plan was being ruined by the terrain wanting to shunt about, because this is supposed to be a pretty much impenetrable fort from this angle anyway. Defensive. It's a defensive location. So I didn't want to have it like tiered with like steps, being able to climb up to this level, climb up to that level. Yeah, I want it to be craggy. I want it to have the occasional ledge and bit that you can get onto. But yes, I decided it was actually working better just by rotating many of the rocks and hardly moving them at all, just to give it a more craggy rock-like face. I did toy with actually getting rid of all these vanilla, because these are the vanilla from the Park Life update, these vanilla rocks, and using some custom rocks, such as some of the great work from Ivania or even from Zardas. And I might even still, because Zardas's rocks being water friendly, they may still find a place on this map, and I think they're well deserved if they do, definitely. So yes, how's the map build going, BonBon, you say? I haven't watched your show for a couple of weeks. Well, I think it's starting to come together. It's a hell of a lot of work still involved. We're on episode 33, which is approximately 16.5 hours worth of work. Now, Merrickstowe was about 20 hours by the end, and we are going to go way over 20 hours by the end of this. But I'm doing where are we now? How many? 4 updates a week. So it's a couple of hours worth of build every single week at the moment. And on top of that, off camera, I do a little bit of tweaking and testing just to make sure things are going to work. Because it's a half-hour show or half-hour worth of recording, saying that like it's a recording, half an hour's worth of recording. Double sped to 15 minutes so that it doesn't become, well, just too much for you to watch in one day, especially given that I have a What's Map in the morning as well. Appreciate you guys have lives. Well, a couple of you do. I don't. That's why I'm here. So yes, what was I saying? Brain's gone. Brain's gone. It's wandered. Went and wandered. Went and wandered. So yes. Yes. So 16.5 hours into the build, and there's still quite a chunk to go, but it's starting to fall into place. Now there are certain things that still got to be started on, like on the mainland for starters. There are some feature areas that I haven't even began to touch, like I have mentioned more than once about the there's a feature point on the islands by the bridges as we enter onto the mainland, which will be a bit of a clue as to the final name of the map. That said, it's not going to be a giveaway. Honestly, if I was to show it to you, if I was to finish it now, start on it now and finish it this episode and show it to you, you probably wouldn't even get close with the name. That said, once I reveal the name and you look at that feature point again, you might go, I see, yes. You might. One or two of you might. Most of you will go, oh, BonBon's off on this thing again, isn't he? So anyway, so we've got that to start on. There's another feature which will have to be done near the end, solely because it has to do with the tides. This map will work fine in its ordinary state, if you want to play it in its ordinary state, but I am going to try and tie it in to work, well, more so than any other map. It'd probably be the first proper map to be used with the Tides mod. Hopefully TPB's great work that it is. If it's still working by the time that I finish this map, of course. But yes, I have a feature that will work with the Tides mod, and hopefully will blow you away and blow everybody else away. I'm looking forward to making it. That's what I'm saying. But I'm going to do that last, or thereabouts last, before, well, not just before, as I'm working on the undersea terrain, because that will come in to the overall thing as well. I've done some undersea terrain work so far. I mean, roughly ballpark kind of work, so I know where the deep areas are going to be, I know where the shallow areas are going to be, and there'll be possibly an undersea river, because where that river is coming out at the on the mainland, that's a water source, and when the tide goes out, I want that water source to be a river running out into the ocean. But when the tide comes back in, that river will obviously be submerged, and so it'll only actually be a river when the tide is out. That's the plan. Yes, the magic. Oh, look at me struggling here with the terrain. I will get this to work. Yeah, that's the plan with that. And then I want to have some nice intricate underwater. I mean, there'll be water spawn points underwater as well. So when the tide goes out, there'll be some little lakes left behind and things like that. That's what I've got in mind. There isn't much room to give because the tide doesn't come in and go out huge amounts. I think it's about a 10 metre. Is it 10? It might be 20. I think it's a 10 metre variance between high tide and low tide. It's not. It's a 10 to right. Oh, look at the water there. It's evaporating. We need to increase the water volume on that a little bit. And if we got some drowned trees in there, it's just tough, basically, I think. What can we do? What can you do about it? Not much. Not much. So that's what's going on with the tides. Oh, now the ornamental lake from last time. I'm going to do a little bit of foliage work around it, just to bring it out. Once again, very early stage with the foliage. I will be adding a lot more variant trees and such along these areas. But for now, it's just get something. I've got the wrong trees. It's just, there you go, the bushes. That's what I wanted. Yes, for now, it's just something to get started with, and then to work from and to thin out and flesh out and flush out a lot more as we work on the map and look at areas and go, oh, that doesn't look right. That's the other thing. Sometimes you do something and you come back later and it doesn't look right. Other things I've got to do. The main causeway bridge, the very first bridge that you use to get onto the island. Some of you remember I had like a stone bridge network underneath. That's totally disappeared. I don't know. Did I unsubscribe to it? I wouldn't have thought so, but maybe I did, because I did sort out my subscriptions and inventories fairly recently. So possibly I deleted it, possibly it's been removed from the workshop, or maybe, I don't know, but I'm going to go back and redo that at some point. But it's not a priority for me because the bridge is in place and it's just a question of detailing it with a network, and there's me thinning out the trees with the bulldozer. Much nicer, much nicer. There we go, tidy it up. So that's to do as well. The intersection, the one intersection, not the one on the island, the one out on the mainland, leading up to the bridges to get onto the island, that is almost certainly going to be demolished. And I know we spent a whole episode or two working on it, but no, it's got to go. Because the more I think about it, the more I need a fourth exit off of that. And while I could bodge one on, no, don't be silly. So I'm going to at some point have a look around. I could build it by hand, but There are so many lovely intersections on the workshop, from like the likes of a Gussie Navy, and oh my goodness, my brain has gone. What's the guy's name? Oh, works with Acania a lot. It begins with A as well. Him. Oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. I am so. If you're watching this, I am so sorry. Your name has just completely escaped me. I can see it written in front of my eyes, and I'm not. Anyway, I'll try and give you a shout out next time. But yes, there's a couple of, and then there are other creators as well. But I mean, those are the two that jump to mind. What I want to do is find the perfect intersection, which will allow a fourth turn off, but it has to be a certain shape. It's kind of like an odd shape, because that fourth turn off is going to go back and loop back over or under, haven't decided which way round yet, the highway that is coming in from the foot of the map, so it can cross the river. So I've got to look and see what's available, see what kind of fits, and of course once we've popped it down, yes, we'll have to do lots of tweaking with it to make it exactly work, but I'm sure there'll be something pre-made which will fit the bill beautifully. And then we'll pop a bridge over the river. Then there's plenty of detailing to go on that river area as well, because at the moment it's just a stretch of water, quite a wide stretch of water as well. So probably have some sandbars going down the middle of it for the river, the bridge posts to go into, that kind of thing. That's gonna happen. Not anytime immediately, don't get me wrong. This is not stuff that's going to happen this week. I'm trying to prep you, let you know what's coming up in future episodes. The Half Moon Island isn't far from finished. I do have a feature area a little feature in mind for the Half Moon Island that I haven't started on yet. It won't be a big job. It'll be a very quick job, a very fast job. Doing a little bit of road checking. There was something like this road down here doesn't quite work for me, so just tidying up the roads a little bit. Keep flipping from one thing to another, keep finding the things that don't quite work, that you're not happy with. Right, there you go, that's much nicer. There you go. That's better. And out here, look at this, see, jinky janky, blimey, what is going on? So I'll probably come back and triple check. Just keep coming back and triple checking things and finding things that I missed last time that I could do better. We will get perfection at some point. Looks okay from that angle. Still not sold on it from the other angle. Is that jinky janky in? There, it just needs straightening up. The roads need straightening up. That's what it is. That's better. Come off of there. That's better. And then there's a little bit of a node issue there. Maybe put a bit of a bend into it, might take it out a little bit. Anyway, and then we got slightly different two-tiered, and it's going to have to level the terrain as well. So much to do, And here we go. This is the causeway, and the bridge at the end has lost its stonework. I don't know why. Where did it go? Who stole it? Did you steal it? Underneath here, that needs fixing under there. Right, and this is the intersection that will be ripped up, and I'm going to just do some highway work. That said, this highway work might be meaningless because we're going to be rebuilding down here anyway, so what do I... Anyways, so tomorrow we'll be coming back to the wetlands and doing a lot more wetland work. I have, you've got the river system on the, if you can call it a river system, on the wetlands. We've got some independent pools coming to the wetlands tomorrow, plus a lot more foliage. There we are. It's going to look really, really pucker by the end of tomorrow's show. I promise you. I've already recorded the footage, so I know how much more different it'll be looking. Anyway, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Join me tomorrow for What's Map, and tomorrow night for more map making. I've been BonBonB, and you've been very, very welcome, and you know it.